Here's a theory. In most contests, the team having more fun wins, and the team that loses its sense of humor loses, period. Take Friday when President Trump posted a meme predicting he'll be president forever and ever. Yeah, that's real. Normal people, i.e. people not in the media and therefore not under the spell of irrational obsessions, saw this as lighthearted trolling, mocking the triggered Trump critics like this fella here.
If he loses Trump, he won't go. I've been saying that since before he got elected.
And he was a comedian once. It's so obvious it hurts, but still the media reports Trump's jokes as dire warnings. A Mediaite headline screams, Trump posts insane Twitter video threatening to be president for eternity. Threatening. What moron writes this stuff? It's hard to say, really. They got a staff of them. I'm anxiously awaiting their expose on why the chicken really crossed the road. Or does time fly if you throw a clock through the air? I bet that gets 3 Pinocchios. How do these people get so, to use the medical term, stupid? Well, the media, once operating under the guise of journalism, are now just hall monitors and pundit finks. Their jobs reduced to screaming, look what someone said on TV, it's a joke, but not to us. They barely get out of bed anymore. Their workplace attire, sweatpants, and an open bathrobe. But that's today's media, reporting on you as you make them the butt of the joke, like Chuck.
You have joked about a third term. You've joked about these things.
I only joke. I joke and I say, watch, I will drive Chuck Todd crazy.
Okay. You will.
Yes, there will
you will
be
accept the result, and you will
100%.
accept whatever happens in 2020. You lose, you'll be like, you're not going to like it, but you walk out.
In fact, I said at a speech recently, I said, watch, we'll drive the media crazy. Let's go for a third term and then a fourth. And some of the media said, he is going to do it.
What a treat. The Trolled reporting on how they got trolled. It's too easy and almost unfair to think we're going to have at least 2, 3, or 4 terms of this. Dana, do they deliberately see jokes as the real thing? Or is this, it really is a disorder? It's becoming one.
Oh, God. Obviously, that was funny.
Yes.
And also, he's 73.
Yeah.
That's not, obviously not happening. Obviously, you can't have more than 2 terms. It takes a constitutional amendment. They can't even joke about that. But if you talk about abolishing the Electoral College,
yes,
like that is all of a sudden like that's actually real. That's not a joke.
That is a good point. A good point. Jesse?
Yeah, I just like watching the Democrats chase their own tails. It's so stupid. They're humorless. This is like what you said in the beginning. If Trump tweets something that he's never going to leave, then Maher says he's not going to leave. Then he asks him about leaving. He says, I'm just joking. And then they run stories about how the president might not be joking. He could be serious. When, in fact, it's Hillary and the left who hasn't accepted the last results of the election. Remember, they called him an illegitimate Russian hacker for 2 years. And then you have all the holdovers like Yates and McCabe and Comey try to constantly undermine him from within. But I think the strategy for the media, Greg, is that they're trying to give the Democrat voters a shot of adrenaline and say, you guys need to beat Trump by a larger margin. It can't be a small margin. It can't be like 1 million votes. You have to beat him handily in the Electoral College because this guy's a felon. This guy's a cheater. This guy's a willing colluder. And if it's really close, he's going to say there's fraud. He's going to say, you guys cheated, and he's going to stay in office, so I think that's the strategy.
What's the amendment again that limits your terms?
I don't know.
I don't.
Well, he talks about Article 2 all the time, and Article 2 establishes the executive branch and says that it's 2 terms.
Yeah. So I think his next thing should say we should repeal that.
Repeal it.
Yes, repeal it.
Well, you know, the thing about this is, on the one hand, I've said this to you before.
Remember, great help.
At the end of the 2016 race, when people asked him, what happens if you lose? He said, well, maybe not. I'll accept the results, right? Now, I don't know if he was joking there, but that's what he said.
You know he was.
Then he says to Chuck Todd, in the same interview, he says, oh, you know, I won the popular vote. And Chuck Todd says, what are you talking about? And he says, oh, well, Judicial Watch had the suit in California. Of course, that suit was about people who should have been taken off the registration rolls. There was no evidence of fraudulent voting taking place. So to me, the question is, why are we having this segment? Why are we discussing it?
Chuck Todd asked them about
you
it.
know why we're doing it? Because
It's fun.
No,
But you just
because,
proved Greg's point that the
go
left
ahead.
cannot have fun, and you take this so
no,
seriously.
because
This is
he
so
says,
funny.
but he says things, Lisa, that make
But
you wonder:
what?
does he have authoritarian
No.
instincts?
Oh, come on.
Oh,
You
I
cannot
see.
watch that and not crack up. I love the fact that he's doing more of these mainstream interviews because I think it's absolutely hilarious. The scene with him and Stephanopoulos in the car talking about if there's collusion or not made me laugh out loud. This is hilarious, and people make it so easy, and the easier they make it, the more he's going to want to do it. And so you actually benefit yourself by not overreacting to it, because then he'd probably be less inclined to want to do it. But it's not just Hillary Clinton that can't accept the results of the election for 2016. You have Stacey Abrams, who is still saying that she is governor of Georgia. She lost by 55,000 votes in 2018. And you have people like Joe Biden and Pete Buttigieg, all these Democrats that know better, that are saying that somehow she would have been the governor of Georgia, despite the fact that the 2018 midterm elections in Georgia saw near presidential levels in turnout. So clearly nobody was suppressed. There is a tremendous amount of people that turned out. She just lost. They didn't vote for her.
Well, I think that you should keep in mind that Brian Kemp, who's now the governor, was the attorney general and was acting in such.
He won. He's the governor.
He's the one who
Stacey
she
Abrams
thinks
is not.
was in fact
Not governor.
closing polling places.
Kemp is governor.
But anyway, my point to you, Lisa, is the president is a powerful
Oh,
man.
come on.
We should not be sitting here having to debate. Oh, is he joking?
Because it's fun. We're not debating it.
We don't know what the president of the
We're not
United
debating
States
that
is
he's
about.
joking. We're not
We're just
debating that he's
laughing.
joking because we know he's joking.
No, I don't. Look, I'm just telling you. So was he joking
You're
in
so wound up.
2016?
Well, did Gore win Florida?
What?
Maybe.
It could be.
Yeah, maybe.
But you know
Maybe
what?
Gore was really
just
president.
Just like Stacey Abrams.
What?
Come on, Al
You
Gore
have a sense of
conceded.
humor.
They should be,
Come on.
Todd should be asking the Democrat
Stacey
candidates,
Abrams
will you
never
accept the
conceded.
results of the 2020 election?
She said
What
that
Dana
she doesn't
said.
consider him a legitimate governor.
But she has
she
never
didn't.
conceded.
I
think she
I
is
think
the
Al Gore
rightful-
conceded. I think
I know
Hillary
that.
Clinton
I'm just
conceded.
saying Al Gore and Stacey Abrams had a did it
No,
different.
I just think that Stacey Abrams
we've
took a
learned-
principled stand and
Do you
said
think
this
she's
guy
governor of Georgia?
Don't make
closed
jokes.
polling places.
You can marry your sibling, but don't make jokes.